it's I'm supposed to heal you, so let's do some healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in 2016 dreaming about all I wanna be. That's right, it is the New Year edition of Freedom Friday. Here we go. My happiness is right where I left it. I can't remember when the simplest was all I wanted. Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams and listen to me be really goofy and play stupid songs. Obviously. I'm Darienne from DarienneAwaken.com. Welcome. And you just heard probably, I guess, my first complete unofficial debut, music debut on Freedom Friday. Just being stupid. It's 2016. Holy shit. All right. It's cool. So I figured that I would do like confessions of 2015, because I think that for me, 2015 was a really, I don't want to call it a rough year. Okay, fuck it. It was a rough year, okay? 2015 was a rough year for me. And I know the more and more people I talk to, the more and more people that I see online and things like that, it was a rough year for a lot of people. And so I want to come out of the closet and I want to talk about my rough ass year. I want to talk about 2016 and I want you guys to, you know, I want to motivate you guys to kind of get your year rolling, and I want to give some free stuff away. Woo! Because I love giving free stuff away. That's fun. So, let's get real. Okay. I am nicknaming 2015 the year of labor. And 2016 will be the year of birth for me. As you probably know, if you've been following me, I am totally pregnant. If you want to see some bumpies and some pictures of my belly and my progression of my gigantic belly, it's really not that big. It's actually kind of small, but if you want to see progressions, follow me on Instagram at Darienne Empire. Links in the description. But for now, I'm just going to talk about it. I am currently, at this present moment, nearing 8.5 months pregnant. So any day now, I could go and have a baby and literally, physically birth in 2016. And so the reason I am naming 2015 the year of labor, it's really because I think for me, it's so interesting that this was the year that I got pregnant, because 2015 was the year that I got pregnant, because I've been laboring a lot of different babies. You know, I have all of these projects that I've really been working on at one time, and it was just interesting that you know, halfway through the year I get knocked up physically, when I've been really, like, spiritually and in a lot of ways, and in my own life, I've been really birthing a lot of different babies. I've been growing. I've been pregnant in my womb with a lot of these projects that I've been working on in my business, and really just I've been following my dreams and kind of like cultivating and culminating and figuring out what those dreams are, and just evolving all of my different loves into one. And I've just been kind of honing in on my craft and things like that. So I started 2015 off doing a lot of training. So I did some EFT training. I trained in level 1 and 2 EFT. Those were some pretty intense classes. I did training in public speaking that I've had a lot of really beautiful things come out of that, where I will be becoming a certified public speaker. And so I've been really like, you know, molding the music with the coaching and becoming Darienne Empire for me. And that was really, you know, in 2015 is when I think I really started to become Darienne Empire, where for the very first time in my life, I got on a stage in front of a room full of people and I told my story. I coached from it, which is what I do with my life. I coach with my life, teach from my life, and I sang music that was super inspirational, and I did it all on one stage, and it was a really powerful message for me. It was really powerful for me. It was really powerful for the women in the audience, and it made me feel like I am totally on the right track. Like it is so unique to me. I've loved being able to, as time has gone by, I have loved being able to not necessarily come into my own, because I feel like I've always been this, but really use all parts of myself to be able to be this really, really unique thing in the world. And it makes me feel like, you know, nobody else can do what I do. Nobody else can do it like I do it. And the more and more I bring myself and show my full self out to the world and express my true self in the fullest way, the fullest expression of myself, which is what I've always wanted to be, the more and more I do that, the more and more I become just so validated. And so that's been really beautiful. But it's not easy. You know, the journey isn't always easy, and so there's been those like labor pains. There's been lots of labor pains in the year 2015. So another thing that I've been training is in energy healing. So I've been taking a lot of meditation courses, and I've been going to this school near me called the Intuitive Energy Healing School. And one of the classes I took was a female energy class. And I saw my baby come to me in a meditation, and then I got pregnant. And I think one of the hardest things for me has been surrounding this pregnancy. And as a result of it, I have not been as frequent in the last 8.5 months with Freedom Friday. I haven't really been able to work much at all. I've had to stop doing Mission Love. And I want to talk about the real truth behind that. And I've even, you know, in this 8 months, I did the 8-part series, How I Healed My Depression Naturally. And I expressed briefly in those videos about how I really was kind of starting to go back into a little bit of depression. So I wanted to backtrack, and I wanted to remember how I healed myself from depression the first time, because I felt myself going back into it. And you know what really happened, if I'm being really, really honest, and I think that it's super important for me to be honest. I think that what makes me me, and what makes me have the audience that I have, which is, you guys are so fucking awesome. I love you so much. But what makes me attract you guys, and what makes me grow more, and grow more of a fan base, is really just being raw and being real. And that is how I started Freedom Friday, that I am legit just sitting up in my, y'all don't know this, but messy ass room right now, being my messy ass self and loving myself anyway and working through it. And I'm learning what I learn, and I share it with all of you. And I've never claimed to be perfect. And I think that that's why you guys follow me. I think that you follow me because, you know, you need to see that there's somebody in the world that's like, she curses a lot and she looks like she may not have her shit together, but she's really happy and she, is fulfilled in life and she's finding her way and she has this light about her. And I hope that, I think that that's why a lot of you guys follow me, and I really just try to live my life like that and just be fucking real. So I'm gonna be real right quick. And in this pregnancy, I have experienced deep, deep bouts of depression. 2 in particular that were so severe that I was having suicidal thoughts, and I had to call a crisis center and actually go to a crisis center the second time. And it's really felt like everything came crashing down around me to the point where I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle all of it at once. And it was really freaking difficult for me. And, it was kind of like I became blind, but I knew I was blind. And that's the beauty and I guess the curse of being like spiritually aware and having been so spiritually aware for these like 6 or 7 years, that it was like I was blind and I was lost, but I knew I was. And I was really trying to climb out of this thing, and I wasn't able to lean on the same things that I could lean on before, where, I had this really fulfilling job where, I get to, like, I love doing Freedom Friday and I get to sit and talk to you guys, but I was getting to a point where, I was so sick in the beginning that I couldn't even sit up and talk to you guys. And I couldn't feel, I wasn't in a place vibrationally where, it felt irresponsible of me to make videos, to be honest. So if I've missed Freedom Friday videos, it's because I wasn't in a place where I felt that I could teach from this really high vibe place and really do good. I didn't feel like I could do that. I felt like I really needed to focus on myself. And, there's this, especially when you're like running a business or you're trying to develop this online community, and there's this stress to always put something on every single week. And I've done Freedom Friday. I mean, I haven't really missed a week up until this year. I really didn't miss any weeks. I maybe had like 2 or 3 in like 2 years that I missed. And it's because I loved it so much and it meant so much to me to be able to do. It's just something I enjoyed. It was easy and I could just hit play or hit record and go at it. But, there's that pressure. And so I really tried not to pressure myself, and I had to let go of that. I had to let go of, this is where I really had to just practice what I preach and practice what I teach. And, I've told you guys about accepting your depression and those moments of depression. And I literally was just having a conversation with a friend of mine that I went to lunch with about how it's okay to be sad. Like, it's okay to be sad, and we have to accept our sadness. And for me, I think having been happy for so long, it was like, I don't want to be sad. And so many fears came up with this pregnancy. I have not been pregnant since I was 18 years old, and I am now 30. My first daughter is 11 years old, and her father committed suicide. So we had a toxic relationship when he was alive, and there were a lot of court dates, and it was hell. I'm not even going to lie. When it came to, my daughter and the custody battles and the child support battles, and it was absolute hell. I mean, I had 2 restraining orders against him, and I think all of those fears came up. So many fears came up. Fears of just not being supported, just fears. All of these fears came up. And spiritually, it's a really beautiful thing because, if we want to ascend, if we want to move into higher vibrations, we have to clean that shit up. We got to clean it up. And a lot of times, something like this will happen in our lives, like a pregnancy or something really massive or a death. And it kind of flips our whole world upside down and shakes all those fears out of us. And, you know, it's not easy to face your fears, always. It's not always easy to face your fears that are that deeply embedded and that are all at once like that. So honestly, like this whole spiritual path, if you choose to go on, it is not for the weak-hearted. Let me just tell you. You know what I mean? I've been through a lot in my life, and you know, that doesn't make me, just because I can teach about how to be happy and I know how to get there and I know the journey, it doesn't give me an immunity. You know what I mean? I don't get to be like, okay, I get to be happy for the rest of my life. No, there's still, like, as long as I'm here and a human being, I still got shit. And, you know, a lot of times it's shit that we're blind to. We don't even know we have until some crazy shit happens in our lives where we're like, oh, damn. And all those fears come back up. So it's been really difficult to maintain that sense of my true self, to not get lost in the ego and in the worldly problems. It is so easy. And I'm going to tell you, this world is fucking crazy, man. It's so fucking crazy. And there's so much drama, and it's luckily by the grace of God, I am a sensitive enough being that it drives me so crazy that it drives me back to myself every time. Like when I veer off from the true alignment of who I am, from completely ignoring the world and just following my own gut and my own heart and my own love and being the love that I am, when I veer off from that, I experience a deep sense of sadness because I am so far from the truth of who I am. And if I hadn't, I mean, by the grace of God, I experienced that kind of deep depression because that's my emotional guidance system saying, whoa, buddy, you have gotten way far off from your true alignment and your true self, and listening to your inner voice. And there's been many times where, you know, my meditation practice has really had to suffer because of the physical attributes. And at the core of all of this, and you guys know that for the last 2.5 years, I've been on an on-again, off-again relationship, and that's the man who I am having a child with. All this time, I've been very deeply in love with him, yet also kind of going through a breakup and experiencing a great deal of heartbreak. Like anybody, when you go through a breakup, you experience a great deal of heartbreak. Except we've had to live with each other, because not physically live with each other, but we've had to live with each other in our lives because we're having a child together. And then it's like deep down, I genuinely love this person and I'm carrying his baby and we're clashing all the time and we're both going through this breakup. And it's been, you know, feeling really vulnerable, feeling really alone, abandoned by him. As far as our heart is concerned, and there's just been so many raw emotions, and you know, I've learned so much from it. I am still learning so much from it. And I'm just now getting to the point where things are starting to seem a little bit clearer. And I notice how much the choice to be happy is mine. I've always known that happiness is, not always, but for the last 6 years, I've known that happiness is my choice. It is your choice. But I also think that that moment of blindness and feeling really lost was just so necessary. I know that it's all been necessary. It's just been crazy for me because I've been through a lot of really crazy things. You know, the death of my daughter's father. I've been through heartbreak. I've been through a lot of things, and I've been able to still stay really grounded in God and in my spirituality, and really just been like, you know, I trust you, just stay with me through this. I know that this is hard, and I've been able to have a really beautiful experience, but this one, I haven't been able to do that as much as I have in the past with some other things that seem a little bit more tragic, you know? To me, it's like, a lot of people are like, you've done the pregnancy before. Like, you got pregnant when you were a teenager. You've raised a child on your own. You've gone through so much. Why is this so hard for you? And I don't really know. And I think a lot of it has to do with that romantic relationship that I mean, he really is a soulmate, a kindred spirit, a twin flame of mine. And having so much love for him, I think that my lesson in all of this is to live openly with love. And, you know, it's in my romantic relationships in the past, it's been easy to just be like, fuck you, dude, I'm out. I don't need nobody. And that's my defense mechanism, to be like, dude, screw you, I'm out. I don't need this. I'm out, you know? And it's been a challenge for me to love him, to openly love him unconditionally. Deep down, I love him unconditionally, but to openly do it, to openly admit. But I've realized the depression has come in when I've denied my true love for him. And I don't just mean romantic love. I mean, what I'm learning is that when you pinch yourself off from love in any way, that we all genuinely love each other. Genuinely, deep down, we love each other, we love the earth, we love ourselves, we love God, or whatever we feel intuitively is our higher power, the intelligence that runs through all of us. We love. And what I've realized, what I think the greatest lesson that I'm still learning in this experience is that when you pinch yourself off from love, you will experience deep depression. And that's what I was doing. I was denying the fact that I loved him. And by me doing that, I was pinching myself off from my truth and my true self. And it was hard for me to admit that I loved him because we have had a lot of crazy shit happen, you know? And in my opinion, a lot of things have happened that I frankly don't, I think I'm better than. I think that I can do a lot better. Not saying I could do better than him, but I think both of us can do better than the relationship and kind of what we've put up with. And so there's been a lot of ego in that, in me admitting. It's been crazy. But I think that the core message is that I have to live, me being who I am, you know, not saying everybody has to be like this, but me being who I am, I have to live lovingly, openly. I cannot cut myself off from love. As much as my mind and my logic brain says you shouldn't love this person or that person or this person, if my heart says that I know I already do, you know? Most people, like even you guys, I tell you that I love you because I know who I am, and I know that I'm a loving being, and I know that my soul loves you. I know that. And when I try to deny that, that is when I experience a deep depression. So this has been quite a journey for me. And I know that once she's here, it's going to be amazing and even more of a journey. I also know that last year I asked God to to flip my whole world upside down. I said, you know, I'm getting a little bored. I need a quantum leap. I need something to completely rip the rug out from under me and shift my whole world upside down. Because spiritually, I wanted to grow. And I knew that that would do it. And I know that I've consciously, in some part of me, done that through my whole life. You know, I know that I went into depression with a level of consciousness. And I think that if each of you who have suffered from depression or suffer from anything hardship in your life, I think that if you really tune into who you are, you'll know that there is that spirit that's like, this is really going to teach you. I mean, even my daughter's father, my unborn baby's father, even he wanted a boy. And then when we found out it was a girl, which everybody's like, oh God, I think he needs a girl. That's like what he needs in his life to kind of soften him up a little bit. He knew it too. He was like, you know, deep down, I really knew that I needed a girl and I really wanted a girl. And I think that there's that part of us that knows what we need. You know, there's the spirit. So consciously, I think I've walked into every storm knowing what I was doing. So I literally asked for this. I prayed for this. And in the beginning of my pregnancy, I was pulling cards. I kept pulling cards, and you know, my intuition really kicked in a lot in the beginning of my pregnancy, and I was pulling all these cards, and all of the cards kept saying that this baby was the answer to my prayers. And not necessarily that she is going to fulfill me in some way that I need to be fulfilled, but that I've been asking, and this is the answer to my prayers. And that it's all going to be beautiful and amazing. And, you know, if anything, the one thing that I've learned in life is that hardship and really tough shit is so necessary, and it teaches you a lesson that is so invaluable. It teaches you how to love deeper, because the worse it gets out here, out in the world, the less you start to depend on it. And the more you start to look within and depend on what's here. And what I've realized is that the only thing that you can do to change your life is choose love. And it is the most fulfilling thing. It's scary at first, but it ends up every time being the most fulfilling thing. And it's because it's who we are. It's because it's in our nature to be loving beings. So in 2016 for me it feels more like a year of birth. And I really at this moment don't quite feel like 2016 has even started yet. I think it's probably because we are currently in a Mercury retrograde. I'm a Gemini ruled by Mercury. So I feel like I'm gradually getting into 2016, where normally I'm like, let's conquer the next year, and I'm like writing out a business plan for the next year, and I'm like totally I'm totally driven, and I feel the transition between the years. I feel like I'm just gradually still easing out of 2015 and into 2016. And I think a lot of people have felt like that. Like, this is kind of a different year. I think it's been in the air. Like I said, a lot of people have been through a lot of shit in 2015. And so I think a lot of people are still at a place where I'm at, where it's like, for me, I'm like, I'm not quite there yet, where I'm like, you know, I'm on the other end of this, and I'm looking back going, these are all the beautiful lessons I learned, and I'm paying it forward. You know, I'm not quite there, but I'm at the point now where I can talk about it, and I can have confessions of 2015 for you guys, and I can really be like, listen, this is the real deal. But I do want to tell you that, you know, it's been a rough road. I've learned a lot. I've had those bouts of depression. I learned a lot about some of the mental health flaws in the mental health system that are going on still to this day, that I am really going to be active on once I'm in a place where I can do that, you know, I'm stable. But I don't know. I'm still getting there. And I still feel like, you know, I know I'm gonna be okay. Of course I'm gonna be okay. That's just ridiculous to even. But, and everything in my life, you know, I've tried to really honor myself and just, I've tried to just let myself be where I am. You know, I don't have to be perfect. I'm not fucking perfect. And I don't think I ever get up on Freedom Friday and try to act like I'm perfect. And you know, I give advice when I give the advice when I know it in my bones. And so I'm not going to tell you I know anything when I don't think I do. But I'm going to get to a place, and this is going to be beautiful, and I know that I am going to benefit so greatly from this experience, and it's really beautiful, and I can feel it, and I can feel the deep love that I have for the father of my child, both of the fathers of my children in heaven and on earth, and the gifts that they've given me. And I know that they are both spiritual partners of mine. And I know that though I'm human in this moment, I know that I am a spirit. And so when I cry, I'm not afraid to cry. I'm not afraid to be human. I'm not afraid to feel pain. I'm not afraid to go into the dark corners of the human mind and ego. And I'm really not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to face my fears. And, you know, I've been through so much, and I'm such a strong person. And the one thing that has made me strong is living with an open heart and feeling my feelings. And that has made me the strongest, and not hiding them and trying to suck it up and act like I ain't human. You know what I mean? So I just want you guys to know I love myself so deeply. I really do. And I've loved myself even in moments of deep, deep depression. And I love myself, and I know my worth, which is beautiful because I haven't always known that. And so it's been beautiful to see that even still in deep bouts of depression. So, in 2016, I am so ready to birth my baby. Holy shit. Who's going to be here in like 2 weeks? That's crazy. But I'm ready to birth my baby. I'm ready to birth my true self into this world, even more so than I have ever in my life. So that thus far is my 2015 confessions and overview, and my intentions for 2016. I'm not going too deep into 2016. I'm just kind of like, I'm right here, right now. Let's all just be here, you know? Okay, so now that I've just talked your ear off, if you had any interest in listening what I just had to say, I'm giving some shit away. Yay! So I have my 21 days of self-love guided meditations package. It is an $88 value. It is so invaluable. I can't even express to you. It helps to raise your vibrations. It's something that I've been using during this time, and it's really helped me a lot. It helps you to get back to your truth, to connect with the love within yourself. It's very cleansing, and it really helps you to raise those vibrations so that you can not only experience joy in your life, but start to manifest the things that reflect that joy and things that are going to bring you even more joy. And, you know, I've been really learning a lot about that, more about manifesting and the ins and outs and how it connects to spirituality. And once I'm over this big ass hump, I really am going to have a shitload to teach you. But I've decided to give this away to my most engaging YouTubers. So what you have to do, and I'm thinking, I don't know, probably in like the next few weeks, I'm going to give it away. So basically all you have to do is watch a lot of my videos and comment and share and like and comment and share more and like more and tell everybody about them. And because my top 4 most engaging YouTubers will receive completely free digital download of my 21 Days of Self-Love, which also comes with 2 bonus, somebody's knocking on my door, which also comes with 2 bonus meditations. So do that, and I will give you the rest information of when I will be announcing the winners, probably in the next few weeks. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a happy 2016. I love you. Goodbye. Mwah.
So now